and welcome back to Betting School from the Form Guide. This is Course 5, Each Way Explained, and it tackles the most misunderstood tick box in British betting. Millions of slips carry it every Saturday, and most of the people ticking it could not tell you what they have actually bought. By the end of today, you will. Here is the roadmap. First, what each way really is, not one careful bet, but two separate ones sharing a slip, half the stake on each, then the place terms decoded, the ladder of fractions and places that changes with the size of the field, including the two field size that quietly punish the unwary. Then the maths worked in pennies on a 10-to-1 shot that finishes third, then the chapter that earns the fee, when each way is genuine value and when it is two poor bets wearing one coat. Then extra places promotions, an honest chapter about the word safer and the recap, kettle on, let's open the slip up and look inside. Start with the thing itself because the name hides it. Each way is not a single cautious bet. It is two entirely separate bets stapled together. Bet 1 backs the horse to win. At the full odds on the board, bet 2 backs it to place, to finish in the frame at a fraction of those odds. And each bet takes half the money, which is why £1 each way costs £2 off your card every single time. The two halves settle independently. The win half neither knows nor cares what the place half is doing. Keep that picture. 2 tills, 1 slip, because every sum in this course and the honest chapter at the end falls straight out of it. So the place half pays a fraction of the odds for finishing in the frame. But which fraction and how big is the frame? Neither is the bookmaker's mood on the day, and both are set by the size and type of the field. On a ladder every shop uses, let's climb it and mark where it bites. Here is the ladder, top to bottom. In races of 8 or more runners, the standard terms are a quarter of the odds for finishing first, second or third. In big handicaps of 12 or more, the frame stretches to 4 places at first through fourth, but the fraction thins to a fifth of the odds. Now the traps. Between 5 and 7 runners, only the first 2 count. Your horse runs third, beaten a whisker, and both halves of the slip die together. And with 4 runners or fewer, there is no place market at all. The each way box collapses to a plain win bet. Field size is printed on every race card. The terms live there, not in the adverts. Here is the whole ladder on one screen, places paid by field size. 4 runners or fewer. The red bar at the bottom shows 1. The winner and nothing else because the place market does not exist. 5 to 7 runners, 2 places at a quarter of the odds are still red because a horse can run its heart out for third and return you nothing. 8 or more runners, 3 places at a quarter of the odds, the green bar and the friendliest standard terms on the card. And 12 plus handicaps. 4 places, the tallest bar, but read the label. The fraction has thinned from a quarter to a fifth. More places, skinnier slice. The ladder gives with one hand and trims with the other. Time to settle a slip properly in pennies because pennies don't argue. Our horse is 10-to-1 in a 14-runner handicap, though 4 places, a fifth of the odds. We put £1 each way on her, which you now know means £2 off the card. She runs a lovely race and finishes third. Before the bars, let's set up the 2 tills. The win half is £1 at 10-to-1. If she wins, it returns £11, 10 of profit plus the stake. And if she doesn't, it returns nothing. The place half is £1 at a fifth of 10-to-1, and a fifth of 10-to-1 is 2-to-1. That till pays if she finishes anywhere in the first 4. So there are 3 endings. She wins. Both halves pay. £14 back in total. She places without winning. The win half dies, the place half pays. She finishes 5th or worse. The slip is a clean miss, both pounds gone. She finished 3rd, so let's count the middle ending out in pennies. Here is the slip, settled. The blue bar is what left your pocket, 200 pence across the 2 bets. The win half, 100 pence at 10-to-1 returns nothing. And there is its bar, flat on 0. The place half is 100 pence at 2 to 1, and it pays 200 pence of profit plus the stake back is 300 pence. So the gold bar total back stands at 300 against the 200 line at 100 pence of clear profit from a horse that got beaten. But notice what did the lifting. 10 to 1 was big enough that a fifth of it still beat even money. Run the same race with a 2 to 1 shot, a fifth of that is 2 to 5. And third place returns just 140 pence of your 200. Same slip, 60 pence lost. Now, the chapter that separates the each-way punter from the each-way thinker. Sometimes the place half of the slip is the single best priced bet on the card. And sometimes it is a quiet donation. The difference is not luck. It is 3 conditions you can check before a penny goes on. The place price is manufactured. It is just the win price divided by the fraction. Nobody sat down and priced your horse's true chance of making the frame. The terms did it automatically. So value appears wherever that automatic price overpays the real place chance, and it clusters under 3 conditions. Big fields because more runners stretch the frame's worth, a quarter of the odds rather than a fifth because the fractions is the whole engine. And prices of 10 to 1 and upwards because a quarter of a big price is still a proper price, while a quarter of a short one is scraps. One warning before the numbers, the win half still needs a case of its own. Each way terms can never rescue a horse you didn't fancy to begin with. Let's audit 3 place halves, 100 pence on each, expected pennies back. First, the sweet spot, 10 to 1 in a 10 runner race at a quarter of the odds. A quarter of 10 to 1 is 5 to 2, so a placed pound returns 350 pence. Suppose her true chance of hitting the frame is 30%, but 30% of 350 is 105 pence back per 100 staked. Above the line, genuine value. Second, the 6 to 4 favourite in the same race, a quarter of X to 4 is 3 to 8. Returning 137.5, even with a 65% place chance, that averages about 89 pence. Third, a 2 to 1 shot in a 6 runner race, 2 places only. The place price is 1 to 2, and a 58% true chance averages 87 pence. Same tick box, 3 very different bets. Now flip the coin, because the same arithmetic that makes each way lovely at 10 to 1 makes it dreadful lower down. Short prices manufacture tiny place prices. A quarter of 6 to 4 is 3 to 8. A price so thin that the true place chance almost never covers the margin inside it. Then there is the trap band from the ladder, 5, 6 or 7 runners, where only 2 places pay and the market price is that scarcity to the bone. And here is the uncomfortable mechanism underneath. When you take a bad place price, the place half of your slip runs at a fatter margin than the win half. In that trade, the place part is not protecting you. It is quietly subsidising the bookmaker. Ticking each way to be safe at 2 to 1 is usually 2 poor bets, not 1 careful one. Here is the whole chapter in one picture. The only comparison that ever matters, the chance the place price implies against the chance that is actually true. Our 10 to 1 shot, 5 to 2 on the place half implies 28.6%, and her true place chance, the gold bar, is 30%. True chance above the price paid. That gap is the value, small and real. Now the 2 to 1 shot in the 6 runner field. His place price of 1 to 2 implies 66.7%, but his true place chance is 58. You are paying for 66.7 and receiving 58, and the near 9-point gap between those bars goes straight to the bookmaker's side of the till. Every each-way decision you ever make reduces to which of these 2 pictures you are standing in. On to the promotion you'll see splashed across every big Saturday and festival card. Extra places, 6 places instead of 4, sometimes 7 or 8 on the marquee handicaps. Bookmakers do not hand out presents for fun. So let's ask the betting school question, why do they offer it and when is it genuinely worth something? Why they offer it is simple business. Extra places, make headlines, pull each way money into the biggest betting races of the week and cost the firm only when the extra spots actually fill. It is marketing. But here is the interesting part. It is marketing that genuinely moves the arithmetic. Every added place is pure addition to the place half's expected return because you are paid on finishes that yesterday returned nothing. At the same fraction of the same price, the tilt is largest on the horses our last chapter already favoured. 10 to 1 and upwards, the sorts that hit 5th or 6th all season. The honest caveats: the win price may be shaved to fund the offer, terms still depend on the field, and a promotion can make a bet better without making it good. Read the card. A big card, then decide. Every betting school course carries an honest chapter, and this one takes aim at a single word, the first. ISAR, the word that sells more each-way slips than any other. Safer. It feels true the moment you say it. Let's find out what the arithmetic says when the feeling is asked to show it's working. Here is the truth we owe you. Each way is not a safer bet because it is not one bet at all. It is two, and every bet on the slip carries the bookmaker's margin. Tick the box and you have doubled your bets, not halved your risk. What each way really changes is the shape of your results. More slips return something, so losing feels gentler and less frequent. But feeling gentler is not losing less. At bad terms, it is often losing more in quieter instalments. That feel-safe framing is marketing, and it is good marketing because it works on all of us. So one plain line as ever: if the appeal of a bet is that it feels protected, that is worth noticing. And no place term changes the golden rule that the stake should only ever be money you can cheerfully lose. Let's carve course 5 into stone. Each way is 2 separate bets on one slip, half the stake on the win at full odds, half on the place at a fraction of them, so £1 each way is always £2. The ladder sets the terms. 8 or more runners pays 3 places at a quarter of the odds. 12 plus handicaps pay 4 at a fifth. 5 to 7 runners pay only 2. Under 5, the place market vanishes altogether. The pennies don't argue. A placed 10 to 1 shot turns 200 pence into 300 because a fifth of 10 to 1 is still 2 to 1, while short prices manufacture place prices too thin to live on. Value is one comparison. The true place, chance against the chance the place price implies. Extra places genuinely tilt that sum, and safer is the story. Then 2 bets means 2 margins, never half the risk. And that completes course 4. You can now do something most people at the counter genuinely cannot. Read an each-way slip as the 2 bets it really is. You can decode the place terms from the size of the field, spot the 5 to 7 runner trap before it costs you, settle a placed 10 to 1 shot in pennies, judge whether a place price beats the true chance or quietly subsidises the bookmaker, and read an extra places offer like an auditor instead of an advert. Next time we pick up the punter's map itself, reading a race card. Every number, letter and symbol on the page, decoded line by line. Subscribe so it lands in your feed, and the daily shows 7, midday, 4 and 10 will keep your eye in between courses. Now the serious bit, said with love. Everything in betting school is education and opinion only, never financial advice and never an instruction to bet. Betting is for adults aged 18 and over, and each way's gentler field deserves the same cold arithmetic as any other slip. It is still risk, taken twice. Only ever play with money and time you can comfortably spare, and if it stops being fun or starts to feel like a need, talk to someone. That is begambleaware.org. Thank you for studying with me. See you in course 6.